Excuse me. All right, just checking the mic here. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Today I have 5 different things that I'm going to try with alcohol inks. Hi, Rose. Maybe someone will come and join us. But what I learned between today or from the last time I did this, I experimented with alcohol inks, is that the alcohol that I was using was not alcohol-y enough. So I was using this, and this is 80% alcohol. But when you're using the alcohol inks, you're supposed to use 90% or 91% or higher. So I got regular isopropyl alcohol from the store, which is 91%. This is just something that we picked up during COVID, like towards the beginning when it was kind of hard to find stuff. We bought 2 of these giant bottles, and hardly any of it is used. But so I went ahead and got some regular alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. So that's what I have in these 2 little containers with the blue. This one has a drop bottle, and this one is the spray. And then I'll also be using some other tools today. And I picked up some other colors. So I also picked up a pearl that I didn't realize. This one is an alcohol pearl that is a little different, has that pearlized mica in it. So we'll take a look at that. And let me zoom in or out, zoom around, and grab some Yupo paper. So I cut some Yupo paper in different sizes today. I wanted to see if working with a larger piece of the Yupo paper would help at all. By help, I mean just kind of make me feel like I had a little more space and a little more freedom to play around. So I'm going to get started here in a second, and trying to remember what I need to remember. I do have the window open this time to start, so I won't just be breathing in all of the alcohol that I spray around. And I'm not sure which colors are the new ones that I got. I can probably tell by how much is in them, but I picked up this one, Dandelion. I'm really excited about it because all I had last time was this butterscotch, and it's pretty brown. Not that brown is bad. And then, let's see, I picked up Pool. So that's a light blue. And Gumball, which is a bright pink. So we'll see how that goes. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the alcohol or the felt with the alcohol ink directly on the felt. And just kind of adhere the color that way, and then we will just blend it in some from there. So I'm going to start out with, I think, some green and some blue. Excuse me. And I'm going to try to figure out which colors, which lids go with which color somehow, and keep track. So let's try it that way. And this new one. Oh. Take that lid off. And I'm just laying this down to start. I really like these two colors together. And there's quite a bit of ink left on here, so I'm just going to set that aside. I don't know if that'll dry or if I can use that again, but I'm just going to go in, I think, first with some drops of the isopropyl alcohol and watch that move around a little bit. I really do like the circly looks you get from the full drops, but also if I wanted to keep those, I would just get out the heat tool and dry everything now, and then it would keep all those little drops just the way they are. I think I'm just going to add quite a few more drops here. This bottle is not a precision bottle. I ordered some with the metal tip, but for now, this is what I've got. So these drops of liquid are pretty, are a decent size. I'm going to go ahead and add some more green. I really like this green today. So the research that I did watching other YouTube videos on the alcohol ink, and the problem that I was having was that there was too much water. So in that mix of alcohol that I was using, so it kind of took a different amount of time to dry. And then it doesn't really mix very well. It doesn't mix as well. So hopefully I can achieve a little bit more of the wispy look that I was hoping for at some point. Just moving that around, but not really pouring it the entire time, just then. And I did pick up a new heat gun. It's a dual speed, so it has a low and a high setting, but I also got a hair dryer that has a no heat setting. But I kind of wanted to play with the ink and learn what, you know, what all of the things do and how they react together, and just have more control with this blower than going right to the other heat tool or the air dryer, air dryer. Okay. I'm not sure why, but there's one little spot right here that wouldn't take any of the ink. So, just use my finger for that. All right, so I think I'm going to drop in something a little darker now. I think I'm going to use the orange. Oh, you know what, though? Maybe I should use this pearl. I haven't used the pearl yet, so give that a shot. Trying to mix it this way so it all doesn't go into the nozzle. Come on. It doesn't want to mix. Well, must have done something. So, just gonna go in here. I think I'm gonna put a little more alcohol and a little of this. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I'm gonna lay this one over here so that I can match it up with its lid. I'm not sure if this comes across on the screen. Oh yeah, it looks like it wasn't quite mixed enough, so. I think I'm gonna put a little more of that pearl, but then use the blending solution. I'm gonna give this piece of paper though a second so that some of this alcohol can dissipate, so it dries a little bit. And I am not even sure what happened right there, because I'm not sure that that's what it's supposed to look like, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm not really sure that this is doing anything, but looks like some more of it dried a little bit. There's nothing shifting. Oh, yeah, it's shifted just a little bit. So I'm going to take out the blending solution now. And maybe I can open it. I'm going to wipe off the nozzle. So it looks like it's a little dirty here. Not sure why it's purple. Probably tried to put the purple ink lid on it. It looks like it's just stained a little bit. I am going to drop some of the blending solution there. Oh, well, that was a lot. That's a little more than I anticipated. But it's pretty cool. Put a little more green on here. Whoop, right there. Maybe right there. Nope, it's not the right one. I'm going to try to mix this up a little more. So I think those little blotches are actually the pearl. See if I can mix some more of that up by, let's see. Oh, alcohol. Oh. All right, so I think I'm going to have to put this one aside. I'm going to call it done for now. There's a couple of other techniques that I want to do for sure. And this one has a giant puddle right now, so I'm going to move this over. I'm just going to grab another piece, probably a smaller one this time. And so, let's see, have a whole list of things. So now I'm going to put color down. I wonder if this will wake up with some alcohol. I just used the rest of the ink that was on that piece of felt. I went ahead and threw that away. And I'm going to give this just a second to dry. I'm going to add another color. Put this aside. Try this gumball. Okay, so this is a pretty bright pink. I'm going to lay down some alcohol and just let the pink do its thing. Yep, that's bright. Ooh. Okay. It's a little watermelon-y. I don't really have a problem with that. Oh, yeah, oh. Need another drop right here just so I don't get too much. This is what I want to do. I'm going to put a new felt on my tool here. Make sure that's smashed down there. And I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol on here to move around and lift up some of the ink that's already there that's pooling. This is one of the kind of techniques or things that I wanted to try already. I don't want to get the mud placed back into the paper necessarily, so I'm just doing a little bit of that on the corner. I know I'm putting green with the red. Just want a bit of color right there. I'm going to go in now with a little bit of turquoise. Do this. I'm going to use some blending solution this time. Hi there, Mimi. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. Or do I just call you Mimi? Kind of like that blue with that red. And make some room and put a couple more drops over here. Let's see. Ooh. There's some purple in there now. I am having a pretty good night so far. Happy that someone showed up to join us. I'm just playing with alcohol inks, and I was telling Rose earlier that the last time I did experimenting with alcohol inks during a live, I found out that I was using the wrong percentage of isopropyl alcohol. So I got something new. I got the 91% and using that this time. So I am going to try to get some of this brown off of here. So see if this works. Sure does. And maybe soak up a little bit of whatever this is happening over here. I'm sure it'll move around a little bit though. Some of that. All right, I think I'm going to pause on this one. I'm gonna move it over, and then I'm gonna grab that one that I did before. This is the one that has the pearl in it that I think wasn't mixed very well when I laid it down. So I am going to take another one of these little felties. I'm going to put my ink away so I remember what lid goes with it. And this time I'm just going to put a little bit of the blending solution on here. It should have a different effect of than the alcohol. Whoops! Oh no. I gotta get a different one. I got red all over it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, at some point I should oh, here, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know if you guys can see what's going on back here, but there we go. How has your day been so far, Tanya? Okay, just a little bit of the blending solution. Move that one aside. And see if I can pick up and mix around a little bit of the pearl. That seemed a little chunky. You can see the fingers of my gloves are pink, so I'm trying not to get them involved too much. But I do have some more gloves that I'll put on in a minute here. So I guess there is the chance of just making little circle lines from the felt. But if there's enough of the either alcohol or solution on there, it shouldn't be too bad, and then it'll just kind of fall or naturally kind of, oops, sorry, blend away some of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I got a bunch of it up, which is what I was trying to do because there were some weird splotches that I was confused about. So I'm just going to put some more blending solution here just to kind of move things around a little bit. All right, I'm going to let this one sit. So I'm going to move it over. I'm using my hardboard to transport things today. And it dawns on me that I can just use alcohol on my gloves to clean them. So the next thing that I'm going to try is, next on my list is alcohol lift ink. So there are a couple of pretty cool techniques that I watched recently using alcohol lift ink. So basically it's an ink that pulls up the alcohol ink off of the Yupo paper. So because this is a synthetic paper that I'm using, the ink will come up and attach itself to this when I use it with a stamp. So we'll just do a little quick blending here, and then we'll try that out. Look at how pretty the yellow is. Yellow. Oh. And I think some of this. Blue over there though. And maybe some of this in between. This is pink sherbet. This gumball in particular is doing some funny fluming thing that some of the other colors I don't really notice doing, so just an observation. I'm not sure what that means. But let's get some little bit of blending solution in here. Just some bits. This sherbet is like a mauve-y color. I really like it. I'm gonna put it everywhere. Almost. This one's got a spot of blue in here. That's really kind of cool. I'm gonna pull the camera in just a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the alcohol, I think. Put a drop here. And since it made a little bit of a spot, I'm gonna put a little more yellow right here. And then I think I'm done, because what I really wanna do is try out this technique. This purple that showed up too. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to give that a second to dry. Oh, that was silly. So to use the Alcohol Lift ink pad, and I'm just going to kind of move things around here. You need a stamp. You can actually use another sort of tool. You can use the felt or the blending foam, but I'm going to start out with the stamp technique to do this. So I'm going to grab that. And this is the stamp I'm going to be using today. This is one I got on clearance at Michael's. It's a recollection stamp, but it is super groovy, so I'm using it tonight. And once we use this lift ink with this stamp, I'm going to stamp whatever comes off onto the stamp onto regular cardstock. So I'm going to grab a piece of my regular cardstock, which I have right here. And I'm also explaining this because I'm just waiting for this to dry. I think that I understand now how when I watch other people doing videos with alcohol inks, they're using the heat or air tool at the same time as they're putting down the alcohol and the inks and all of that. It's kind of a, you get just a few seconds, unless there's a giant puddle, which gives you less control. You just really have a few seconds to move things around. I really like this orange that's showing up here too. Ideally, I wouldn't have too much of this murky color here, but not too worried about it. Just going to give it another second. And for this first one, I'm just going to do a 1 generation stamp. So I'm going to use the ink pad, and I am going to stamp it into the dried ink one time. And then I'm just going to stamp it down on the paper 1 time, because that's really all of the ink and time that we'll have for that. And then I will do another one next, where I'm going to use my Misty stamping tool with a different stamp that is a foam stamp that I can use in the Misty, of course. And it will allow me to not only stamp twice, but I can lift up ink twice. So we'll see how different the look is when I do that. Okay, so I think we are just about dry here. I am going to go ahead and ink up this stamp. I think it's just going to kind of fall wherever it falls. I'm going to try to get complete coverage. I'll move it here. And then we'll put it onto this one. And this is just a regular cardstock. This is actually the Spectrum Noir cardstock for alcohol inks, but it's not the one I prefer for like alcohol marker blending. And I just had some that were already cut and ready to go. So I'm just going to try to get good coverage here. I don't know if the thinness of these lines is going to have an effect on, I imagine it's going to affect how much ink it pulls up, but we'll see. So I'm just going to lay it down here. I'm going to give it a second. I really don't know how long I'm supposed to do this for. Probably not too long. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Oop, it's stuck. Oh, so you can barely see it, but see if this works. Need something. Here, let me use this ink block here. Just want to put some even pressure because I'm not going to be able to go back and get like with a stamping tool. All right. Let's see if we got anything here. Oh. It's pretty cool. It's obviously really light, but it's pretty neat. And then the next part is that I'm just going to take a paper towel and using this ink on this stamp, loosened up some of the ink that was on this Yupo paper. So as it comes up, you can see the image on this part as well. That's pretty cool. With some practice, I could probably do a little bit better. It is bringing some of the ink up onto my paper towel, so I'm trying not to muck it. But I do like the way that turned out. And should probably do this. Supposed to dab it off until no color is coming up, and I think that that is just about where I am now. A little bit of this is coming up right here. I'm almost getting a full image, and I'll bring it closer in a second. Alright, so there you can see the mandala impression in there. I think that this would have been better with a single generation if the sections were a little more bold, but I think you still never know what you're going to get, especially with the woodblock stamp. This next one I'm going to do twice, so we'll see how that goes. First, I'm going to start off with another piece of Yupo and blend. That thing needs to be cleaned, so I'm going to put it aside. Let's see. Okay. I really like this yellow color, but so I'm going to do two. I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to use this, but not yet. use Stream. I'm going to put down some alcohol. And now some color. This one. And let's move this one over here. This one is Wild Plum. Where's my thing? There it is. Oh, this is making a really pretty blue color in the middle. A little more alcohol over here. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for joining. Oh, I won. How exciting. I saw that you were on, but I didn't have a chance to join. I'm just playing with alcohol ink. I'm doing lift techniques. Need a little more ink here. I think I'm gonna come in with more of this purple. This is Wild Plum. Add some more isopropyl there. I think now, though, I'm going to come back in with some of the blending solution. So it'll blend it more instead of, like, separate it. Make it wispier. Add a drop of yellow over here because I really like this yellow right now. Oh no, that wasn't a drop. That was all the drops. Oh, I thought I saw you live today, Crystal, but maybe that was a different day. But thank you. I'm very excited to learn all about it. And I think I'm going to put some more of this over here. And then this one. Yeah? Yeah. All right. So I should probably stop playing at some point because I want to get that, try that lift technique, the double stamping. I'm going to need more of this dandelion because it's going to be my favorite. Or it already is my favorite. Okay, I gotta stop. All right, I'm gonna try to match these up with wherever their lids were. So I think that one was there. This one is here. And this blue one I will put right here. Not really sure it's going to matter over time, but just trying to keep them matched up. So I'm going to give this a second to dry. And while I'm waiting for that, I can show you my... Oh, I didn't even use the spray today. I just used the dropper. So for this technique, I have my MISTI already prepped. I am using this Penny Black cling stamp, and it is a Christmas kind of bouquet, and it is called, I don't know what it's called. It's probably on the acetate though. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off my glove. But I'm going to try to take it off so that I could use it again, though I don't know that that's going to happen. Yeah. Sweaty in there. Okay, so this is still drying. I am using just some regular cardstock here. This is Nina Exact Index, which is the cardstock that I use for my card bases when I need white cardstock for things that isn't alcohol ink, like that isn't alcohol markers. For that I use the Pixis blending card. But using the MISTI this time is going to allow me to do a couple of things. It is going to allow me to not only lift the ink off of our ink blended Yupo multiple times, but also will let us, oh, is it not going to fit? But will also allow us to, or me to, stamp it twice or more times if needed. So I was hoping, yeah, okay, looks like we're about set. So I'm just going to give it another second. There are a couple of little pools there that I think might dry a little bit more. And in the meantime, I am going to ink up the stamp. I did clean this. Usually I use Squeaky Clean. So I have this bottle of Squeaky Clean, which is Candy Hearts, so it's candied smell. And I don't know how I'm ever going to use this whole thing, but they have all kinds of other smells that I always want to get. So I'm just going to apply this first and try to get, you know, a good even amount of whatever this alcohol lift ink is onto the stamp. I'm sure probably wiggling the camera a little bit. But. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down my stamp. Actually, I'm going to reconnoiter here just a little bit because I want to kind of use the entire stamp in this technique. This is, you know, bigger than a normal card base for me, or bigger than a normal card. Oh my goodness. Card panel. Sorry, my magnets are being magnety. So I'm just going to move this into this corner and magnet it down. There we go. And now at least we can use all of the stamp. So I'm just going to give this some even pressure. And I'm just going to give it a second here. So now it's got some of that ink up, and I just realized that I didn't have a piece of paper that is the right size. So I'm going to trim it down. Still too big. All right, there we go. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna move this. Stamp it down. So on our last one, we were only able to do one generation because I used a traditional wood block stamp. So this is the image that we got, which is not too bad. But with the Misty, I will be able to do it more than once. So it looks pretty good so far. So I'm going to move this, and in order to put my, wait, it's this way, right? In order to put my stamp, my ink pad back onto my stamp, I'm going to have to clean it off. Have you ever done this lift technique, Crystal? Just gonna spray. This is just my squeaky clean. That smells like candy. Everything off of there that I can. Now, I'm going to put our paper back in the same way that it was before, I think. Alright, so this should allow us to do one more impression. Oh, look. It wasn't as clean as I thought. It's got some gunk. I think it's going to be okay. Put some even pressure on that. All right, lift it again. Put this in. Oh, there's my magnet. Do this one more time. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect, but I might be able to get some other little spots on here. All right, I think that's enough. I think I just liked the sound it was making when I was doing this, so. Pretty good. Not bad. Let's see if I can get any more out of this. I don't know that I pressed very hard with the lift there. So that's pretty cool. Okay. And now I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to have to wash this or wash that stamp later. Then I'm going to get another piece of paper towel. And see what I can get off of here. Oh no. So this is cool. It's coming up. However, you can totally tell that it was like a tiny bit off when I laid it down the second time. But we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, now it looks like a blurry mess. So I think I'm about to probably add some more ink or alcohol to kind of even it out. But let's see what it looks like. It keeps coming up, so I think that's everything. Okay. There it is. You can see that it's doubled up. I really thought that using the stamping tool was going to save me, but I did mush it around a little bit, so it's still pretty cool. I'm sure I'll get better at that with more practice. So let me grab the other ones. So the other thing that I wanted to do today was use the alcohol ink, or use the tape. Maker Forte has this product that is called alcohol masking tape. So it's supposed to work well with the Yupo or the whatever is the non-porous, and you're supposed to be able to peel it off, and and the inks won't bleed underneath it. So I'll have to try that next time. So let me grab the ones that we've got here. Got this guy, of course, and the sister, which is really cool. Then I've got this one with the mandala, and this one that I printed from. This one is really cool. I'm going to try this one again, probably in a darker color, and maybe leave the alcohol ink, like the stamp on it, a little longer, maybe to lift more up, possibly. So there's that one. We have this messy green one with the weird pearls. So the pearls eventually did kind of blend in instead of chunk up like they were doing. I am pretty sure that that was just me not mixing the pearl enough before I got started. And then this one. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and hang out for a few more minutes. If anybody has something they want to talk about, or you want to watch me make another mess. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to do. Geez. I did some stamping. Let me go grab that. So here's one that I made the last time, and I went ahead and stamped a Very Merry Birthday to You on it. So all of these, they will take the Mento ink. This is the ink that obviously you can use with alcohol blending pens or markers. So I didn't do anything fancy to it because I kind of just like it plain. I'll probably, though, send it through the laminating. Not to laminate it, but just to flatten it out because it's a little crinkly. I wasn't sure how the glue was going to work on the Yupo. I think that I'll probably next time use dry adhesive just so it doesn't buckle so much. Okay, so I guess I am going to go ahead and try this tape. Not used it before. Yeah, like this. Just like tape, right? Like tape. So I'm gonna tape it down, I think. And maybe use a couple pieces. And I'm gonna burnish it down really well. So it's kind of hard to see. Of course, I always take off the gloves and then just want to do one more thing. So. I also have some of that. What is that? Bubble wrap. Okay. They're filled. They're just like balloons now. So I am going to go in with the yellow and the pink because I like that a lot. So alcohol. So this is what I understand how I'm supposed to use this. I'm not even sure if you guys can see it, but here is some yellow. And some pink. And orange. Oh, I hear football on in the other room. That's not very exciting. It's a little more mixed media than I usually get, but we're going to see what happens when I let this dry on here. I'm not sure how accurate that was because it looks like some got under there, but we'll see when I pull it apart. I can tell that it is, it did create a barrier, so even if it didn't get underneath there, just the way I manipulated the ink made a line across there that would still be there, but we'll see what happens. It's gonna need to dry for another minute under there. This one has all kinds of air. Okay. Interesting. I could probably print that too, huh? And oh, it worked. Oh. Woohoo! It works. Fantastic. So that's like enough room to put a big old sentiment in there if you wanted to stamp it. And that's all I have. That's fun. Some little dots. All right. Thanks for joining. Hope everyone has a good week. Have a great night. Bye.